are you excited about hearing Michael speak today about the Solomon sales method?
I am thrilled. We have been waiting for this for such a long time. I'm so excited.
So what are we going to learn today?
Good morning, Dave. I'm so glad you asked. We are going to learn one of the coolest self-managing sales success tools that I have ever been able to find. And I only know that it works because I wrote it.
So you're excited about hearing Michael speak today?
I am fabulously excited about hearing Michael speak today.
I've been following him along for the last couple of years on how he's been developing this and what he's been putting into it. Pretty impressive system, if you ask me.
Excellent program, excellent ideas. Now just to be able to implement them is really good. So he's done a great job.
Great, thank you.
I'm able to take away a system that I can use today and from here on out.
My job is to give you material that's so stellar that once you get it, you can take it and use it and make good money for the rest of your life. So I wanted to write a process that would create a salesperson who would have a mid-level pipeline 90 days after he started in any new company. Because I absolutely insisted on finding a sales process that allowed me to sell with dignity, integrity, some upright values, so that nobody ever felt like I was taking advantage of them. And I suggest to you that if your dog doesn't think you have the capacity to give it food, it will no longer be your dog. In our case, trust means I trust that the agenda we're on is going to be good for me. Does that make sense? Credibility means I believe you have the capacity to deliver what it is I'm expecting of you. If we're salespeople in what is already a high trustless environment, we have to work pretty hard to build that day one. We give them permission in some form or fashion in our conversation to say no in the first few moments. We are sending a subtext message that says it's okay not to be interested in what I've got. Is that fair? Elevates the trust level as high as you possibly can in that moment. If I prove myself with a success story, a testimonial, a referral, anything that somebody else is saying, I know what I'm doing, then I'm that much more credible. If they're interested and they say, in any shape or form, tell me more, what happens?
Interest.
They're expressing interest, right? You are no longer in the engagement phase. The three elements of qualification I believe are critical right here are some degree of motivation to buy, some degree of capacity to advance you in the selling process. That is, are they a decision maker or can they get you there? And the third one is, how fast are they going to be moving on this? And that just tells me how much time I want to spend with them in the next few days, next few weeks, or whatever. Leadership means you are talking to the one person in the group who, by making a choice, carries everybody else in the group. How many times have we gone into a place where the salesperson has tried to sell us on something that they wanted us to buy without having a clue in the world whether we needed that? This is where the used car mentality, this is where the fight or flight stuff comes from. People try to push their way into a sale without knowing whether or not it has value, right? So Suitable says, is this a sufficient fit to make this happen? If it is, great. If it isn't, okay, walk away from the deal. And we've discovered that we don't have criticality. There is no motivation for them to reach in their pocket, pull out money, and give it to us. We have no influence over whether they have some kind of critical need for what we do. We have no influence. We can't make it so. So if we continue to sell past that, all we're doing is engaging more fight or flight. The three things we must know is what is their current situation that brought them to the point where they wanted to talk to you. The second thing we have to know is what is the ideal scenario that they were trying to accomplish. Their motivation to buy is simply the measured difference between those two items. But we don't need to close hard or manipulatively or connivingly if there's value there.